this is your best window. And you made the point this morning on Eyewitness News that, listen, it could be the situation where traveling somewhere, you might be in okay shape, but make sure you're careful because you don't want to get stuck somewhere. Conditions coming back could be the tricky part.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, especially when the sun goes down, it's kind of going to be that trigger point of when things really go downhill because the temperatures are going to drop. Obviously, we don't have any more what we call solar radiation occurring that's helping to melt the roadways. So everything's going to become really icy. And then on top of that, the snowfall is just going to pick up in intensity. And you can see that here kind of on Futurecast. And Roger, you hinted at this, but this is a long duration event.
Right.
9 o'clock tonight, it's still snowing pretty decent. Even 1 o'clock in the morning for our Eastern Connecticut friends, it's still snowing.
Unbelievable.
So,
So yeah, it's going to be a long way. Settle in.
Yeah, it definitely is. And we'll give you a quick check if you weren't able to join us this morning. Snowfall forecast generally going with 3 to 6 inches. That being said, a little bit of behind the scenes in the forecast. I do think there will be a couple towns that overachieve what we say, 7, 8 inches, and that's probably Eastern Connecticut.
I was going to say, who's going to hit the snow jackpot? We'll have to wait and see.
We will wait and see. Absolutely.
All right, Josh, I know you will join us again in a short time here on the digital stream from the digital desk, probably coming up around 10 o'clock. I know you're fine-tuning the forecast. You're kind of building this plane as it's flying, right? Because the snow is falling and you're figuring it out.
You know, there's different models coming in, not every hour, but every half an hour. So we're keeping an eye on those, and we'll be keeping an eye on that information throughout the day.
All right, Josh, thank you so much. We'll check in with you again in about 20 minutes or so, half an hour.
Thanks, Roger.
All right. I do want to take you out on the roads right now. Take a look. This is the scene in Hartford, Waterbury, Southington, and in Vernon. You could basically see different chapters of the exact same book, right? The snow is falling. It's actually tapering off just a little bit compared to what we were dealing with a short time ago. Now, here's the somewhat surprising thing. There are no major issues right now on the roads, according to CT Roads, which is the website put on by the DOT. The only issue is in Bloomfield right now. CT 189 is closed in both directions right now between Mills Lane and Brown Street because of a tree that is down on some wires. Again, this is CT 189 closed in both directions between Mills Lane and Brown Street because of a downed tree and power lines. Now, we don't have a camera there. You can see, though, where we do have cameras, we're essentially seeing the exact same situation play out all over the place. As you can take a look. This is Hartford. This is 91 South. You can see the bottom line is you're definitely going to need to take it very slowly as you move out and about. And here's the situation. If you do have to travel, even though snow is falling, your best bet is to do it pretty darn soon because Josh has been pointing this out that this afternoon we could see heavier snow, and you definitely don't want to get stuck anywhere. Again, this is Waterbury right now. This is Route 8. Similar situation. Looks like a Norman Rockwell painting. As you can see, the highway cutting through the snow there. It looks like the plow crews have done a pretty darn good job, for the most part, keeping the roads as clear as possible, but there's definitely a lot of black ice, definitely a lot of slick spots, and we are seeing some snow stick around, especially on your secondaries. Now, this is in Southington right now, and you can see the snow there creeping towards the highway there. This is I-84 West. Very similar situation right now going on in Vernon. And boy, oh boy, you can see the cars almost disappearing there into the snow. So listen, we are going to continue to track this snow system as long as need be. And it's going to be a pretty darn long time because Josh and our great weather team, they've been pointing out that this is going to be a long duration storm. It started early this morning. There's going to be a little bit of a lull, but it's going to pick back up into the afternoon, and we likely will see some level of snow falling until around midnight. So that is certainly the top thing that you're going to want to keep in mind. We are also, by the way, tracking a bunch of big stories for you on this Sunday that are not weather-related. I want to take you out right now to Hamden. This is the scene that played out on Pine Rock Street in Hamden. Unfortunately, police are telling us that there was a murder here in this area. Police tell us essentially that 3 people approached someone who was in a car and they just started shooting. This played out again near Mix Avenue. And I do want to tell you, I actually am showing you the wrong video. Here it is right here. This is the situation on Mix Avenue. So this is where this apparent homicide took place. And police tell us that on Saturday morning, somebody approached someone who was sitting in a vehicle on outside an apartment complex, rather, and they just started shooting. The victim later died at a local hospital. And the scary thing is Those 3 shooters right now are still on the loose. Hamden police are still investigating. It's been a wild stretch here, and unfortunately a horrible stretch in Hamden where there's been 3 violent crimes. I mentioned there also is another violent crime that happened here on Pine Rock Street, or Pine Rock Avenue, I should say. And police there tell us that 3 women were stabbed outside of an apartment building there. A terrible situation. One of those victims, we've learned, suffered potentially life-threatening injuries. Now, the other 2 women are expected to be okay. And police tell us that what they believe played out here is that a dispute between neighbors living at this apartment complex, or at least visiting this apartment complex, turned into just a horrible situation, turned violent, obviously. Police, at this point, have not made any arrests, or they at least have not announced any arrests at this hour. So we're going to continue to track developing details on this story as we get them. And I mentioned there were 3 violent crimes that played out in Hamden over the weekend. This is from the 3rd one. This is kind of an interesting and unfortunate situation. Now, the good news is the victim is expected to be okay, but police have told us there was a shooting at this store, inside this store, around 4 a.m. on Saturday. Now, you might be thinking, what the heck would be going on inside a store at 4 a.m.? Well, police tell us there was a party inside this business, and that a man who was working as a security guard tried to break up a fight, and that's when he was shot in the stomach. Now, again, as I mentioned, the good news is he is expected to be all right. That is first and foremost. But Hamden police are still searching for the shooter. And again, Hamden police are looking into 3 separate violent crimes that all took place this weekend. All right, on a happier note, I do want to let you know the ski resorts, they are absolutely fired up. You can see these are the conditions last night after we had some snowfall at Ski Sundown. We know more snow is falling right now, and more snow will fall tonight. And this is absolutely coming at the perfect time for all of the local ski resorts. You can see that young skier there all fired up because, again, this is a 3-day holiday weekend. The ski resorts really need to make their money on a weekend like this. And guess what? Because of the snowfall, they're expected to do it. So if you are going to hit the slopes this weekend, make sure you buy your tickets online ahead of time because, again, we do expect it to be very, very busy. All right, listen, we are going to check in again here from the digital desk within the hour because we are continuing first and foremost to track this storm. These snowflakes are falling essentially all over the state. Just about everybody is going to get between 3 and 6 inches at least. Meteorologist Josh Ingrinelli says the snow jackpot, the towns that see the most snow, could even see a little bit more than that, perhaps 7, even 8 inches. So we're going to continue to track this winter snow system, and all your news headlines will check in again around 10 o'clock here on the WFSB digital desk, and we'll continue to stream all the latest information and details for you as we go along. By the way, I should mention that if you have any great snow photos or even just some good snow photos or video, we want to see it. Send them to us right now on the WFSB News app. I hope you're having a fantastic snowy Sunday. Get out there and enjoy the weather, and I hope you don't have to travel. If you do, again, your best bet is to do so in the near future because heavier bands of snow are coming later. All right, we'll see you right here on the WFSB Digital Desk a little bit later. Until then, have a fantastic Sunday, everybody.